All right, so your first swing is over here on the right, and then some drills we did over here on the left. So every golfer is trying to get power into their system, and you're basically what I call top heavy. You're trying to get it all up in the upper body. You're not using the ground as a force at all. There's a lot of stretching right there. You're stretching outward and twisting outward. And your feet, really your hips are having a twist. And right now, you're not in a very, if you look here, a powerful position to work from the ground. So your only move is you're going to move from the shoulder first. So the stretch and a shoulder feeling, you're trying to get power right there. And now as far as the ground, because you'll see that your hip has no lateral motion. We can tell if I draw maybe a line here as a reference. You'll see that you never really get to the line. There's just a spin or torque, and that means you're in a torquing, twisting kind of a thing. So now you're stuck in front of the ball, and now your hands are having to get way in front, and you just can't get the energy into the golf club. So if you're trying to make that club go fast, you'll see that you just can't get the club back in front of you, and your shoulder, if I go back and forth, you'll see that left shoulder, this one here, that left shoulder just keeps twisting away because that's trying to get some energy into the system. So you're torquing and twisting, but you're not going to get the energy to the golf club. So that's why it doesn't have any speed, and that's when you're in front of it. That's why you popped one up in the air. Now, so we kind of learned our different things here as far as how to create a force from the ground, which creates motion and energy eventually to the golf course. The golf swing is leverage. We're trying to leverage energy and speed. So by you trying to get speed here, you lose any sense of leverage to the ball, and the speed never really gets into the golf club. So we switched everything around a little bit. So the main thing I wanted you to feel is that an exaggerated feel, again, it's a feel, is up and down with your hands. Golfers' hands go up and down about 4 feet, so it's 8 feet of total. So to replace all that turning feeling, I wanted you to feel like your hands went up and down. At the same time, I wanted you to feel like you're pushing back and forth, like you're on the ice. Now, as you swing your hands up a little bit more, you got everything a little bit more centered. And you can see here, this swing where you didn't try to make a shoulder turn, you actually had a bigger arm swing. The hands are higher, and we see more of your back. But now your weight is more in this centered position that you can now push back off the ground. But here you couldn't over on the side. As I wanted you to swing up, then I wanted you also to swing that club straight down and push back. So there's a dropping and a pushing. So this is where we're feeling the ground as a force. And so right now you're starting to push better that side. Your arm's going to drop down in front of you. Now you're in a position of power. Here you're stuck. You can't really get that energy into the golf club. Now right about here, tour players stop pushing off the ground as a force, and they're trying to get the energy to the golf club. Meaning their body will still move as a motion to create leverage, but the speed is trying to get that force they just created into that golf club as fast as they can. And you see that's what's happening to the golf club. It's in this hinge position, and at impact it goes to this unhinged position right at impact. In your swing, you'll see that you can see that club never got any speed. It's just like you're holding on that club, you never let it release down. Now from here, that club now releases down. That's your force, and that's your energy from that. And this is your, what I call the slingshot, which means we just got to let things fly through here. You're releasing all that force energy into the speed of your hips and shoulders now come flying through. Club can get extension. So you see your arms, instead of pulling across your body, you see your arms are now extending more that line. Your head stays down longer. Your head is not the problem, is that left shoulder pulling the head up. Now because your forces are different, your head stays down. Now we got a better leverage here from the ground, and then we got our speed. So force, and slingshot. Let it fly, and everything just comes on up to the finish. So these are just, and I would just as a practice swing or hit, see the bag there, try to create a hit, a force of energy straight down, and then right there, let it go flying back up, and instead of twisting it through. So now that you have a kind of a clearer picture, you can get a little bit more in sync of what to focus on when you're practicing, and you should be able to get a lot of club head speed because you're creating a lot of force. We just need to be a little bit more efficient.